Good morning, everyone. This is the weekly impact briefing. My name is Mike Strickler here at the National Weather Service. I'm a forecaster here. If anyone could just type into the questions box and let me know that they can hear me okay, that would be beneficial before we get started. Or if you have any questions before we even get started, you can go ahead and type those into the box now. Anyone? Well, it looks like the mic audio is fine, so we will go ahead and get started despite the questions in the comment box. Before we get started with the forecast, we want to take a quick brief look back at the reports from yesterday and the severe weather across the Deep South and the lack of severe weather up the southeastern U.S. coast into the Carolinas. There were a handful of tornadoes in southern Georgia, some deadly in the Albany area of southern Georgia, and then quite a few wind reports and a handful of hail reports. But overall, not a widespread severe weather event, and that was mostly a result of some early overnight and early morning showers and storms that laid down a stabilizing outflow boundary across the Florida Peninsula and then off the Georgia coast. And the air mass up in the Carolinas was never able to recover before the squall line that developed late yesterday morning over the lower Mississippi Valley raced eastward and intercepted that returning instability axis before it could ever get into the Carolinas. So we really dodged a bullet. In fact, a lot of folks really dodged a bullet over the southeastern U.S., even down in Georgia, despite the fact that there was some significant weather. It was not as widespread as it could have been given the very favorable environment aside from that stabilizing influence from the earlier showers and storms. Looking back at the rainfall, the drought monitor, this was the latest drought monitor updated from last Thursday, and we got the rain. This is courtesy of Mike Moneypenny, our hydrologist here. This is a look back at the rain over the last several days. We got the rain where we had the worst drought conditions over the western part of North Carolina. And then where we don't have drought conditions, there were lesser amounts in the east. So we got the rain where we needed it. A little bit closer look here. This is just the 24-hour rainfall with yesterday's rain, basically from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. this morning. You can see some of the specific totals there with the focus over the triad, where as much as 1.5 inches of rain fell over parts of Forsyth County and western Guilford, and then almost 2 inches there just west of Lexington in Davidson County. And then the amounts across the remainder of central North Carolina on average were much less, on the order of about 1/4 to perhaps 1/2 inch, although there were a few outlying spots that received just a little bit more there. You can see in Sampson and southern Moore County, and then over toward Edgecombe and Halifax County. But overall, again, we got the rain where we needed it, and most everyone got at least 1/4 of an inch over the last 72 hours, which is always welcome. The forecast for today, we've got an anomalous upper low centered over the Carolinas this morning, denoted there by the L, and then it's forecast to track off the North Carolina coast by this evening. And as it does so, notice we've got an area of clearing. This is visible satellite imagery over the eastern United States with temperatures overlaid, and we're still relatively mild out there with temperatures in the 50s to even some lower 60s. And in that area of clearing over east central and eastern North Carolina, we're likely to get the development of scattered showers and even some isolated thunderstorms as the upper low moves over to the coast. So that counterclockwise circulation around the upper low is going to likely contribute to again, those scattered showers and storms moving off to the northwest as we get what are called instability showers and storms. The very cold temperatures aloft in association with the upper low will be moving over the partial sunshine area that we have over east central North Carolina, and that will result in the development of instability that will yield those popcorn type showers and storms through early this evening before dissipating. This is the weather pattern for the rest of the week. You can see the main surface low in association with the upper low that I just described on the last slide is forecast to move up the middle Atlantic and northeast coast and become a very strong nor'easter for the northeastern United States. But we'll just be left with a breezy northwesterly wind as we go into the day tomorrow behind that low and as high pressure starts to build in behind it. And then a relatively tranquil and mild several days. Looks like our next cold front doesn't move into our area until very late Wednesday night and early Thursday, and will be mild in the 60s for highs and 40s for lows in advance of that, and just a small chance of very light rain, nothing like we've seen in the last 72 hours, again centered around late Wednesday night into the day Thursday. So that's really our only chance of rain after the scattered showers and storms today for the entire forecast. And then as we get into the late week weather map there, you can see sprawling high pressure from the western United States, the Intermountain West, extending all the way down into the southeast with low pressure up in the Canadian Maritimes, and that will result in a cooler northwesterly flow for much of the eastern United States. So temperatures will be trending back down toward more seasonable levels by the time we get into the end of the week behind that cold front that I mentioned for the middle of the week. And then this weekend you can see a little reinforcing cold front moving in, but that should be very moisture starved in a northwest flow pattern. And we're not expecting any precipitation with that. So again, we've got two chances of precipitation this week centered around today and then late Wednesday night and Thursday, with temperatures trending from well above average and mild early in the week to about average by the time we get to the weekend. The severe thunderstorm potential is very low. We do have a thunder risk, again, generally along and east of I-95 today in association with that upper low as it moves over to the coast and offshore. But then otherwise, no threat of severe weather, considering we're not forecasting any rain until late Wednesday night. That's not surprising with this the outlook for severe storms. Forecast rain amounts focused today. Anywhere from a quarter to perhaps a half inch, especially in the eastern part of the state today, but that's not going to be a widespread soaking rain. It's going to be scattered, kind of like we get during the warm season. So some folks will get a quarter to a half an inch, and then others will remain completely dry. And I should mention there should be some small hail in some of those thunderstorms today. We're not expecting any severe sized hail, but some pea hail, perhaps a little bit bigger with some of the stronger storms that develop over from near Clinton up toward Goldsboro, and then particularly into the eastern part of the state today. So don't be surprised if there is a little bit of hail out there with the storms this afternoon, but again, nowhere near severe criteria. Looking ahead, no clear signal as far as temperatures are concerned in the 8 to 14 day outlook, basically next week into next weekend. So it looks like we should be seasonable on average, similar to what we're forecast to experience for this weekend, and below normal precipitation chances throughout next week and the weekend. So really this whole 2-week stretch from today through next week should be relatively dry, again, aside from mainly the scattered showers and storms today, and then very, very light rain early Thursday. So to summarize, scattered instability showers and storms today, some with small hail. Those again will be focused over east central North Carolina, where we do have the clearing out there and the partial sunshine in that part of the state. Otherwise, it will be clouding up even in the absence of the showers and storms this afternoon. Things will turn cloudy again this afternoon and continue into early tonight before clearing out and yielding a nice sunny day for Tuesday, although a bit breezy with that northwesterly flow, some gusts up around 25 miles per hour, but temperatures up around 60 degrees. So again, still mild. And that the mild weather will continue until the next cold front approaches and moves through late Wednesday night into Thursday. And again, we do have that small chance of rain with that. No severe weather, no wintry weather. So just a chance of rain with that. And cooler and more seasonable, but dry late week into this weekend, and continuing really into next week is what it looks like. That's all we have. Do we have any questions either regarding yesterday's lack of severe weather or the forecast for the next week or two? All right, nothing seen or heard. So I hope you all have a good week. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you again a week from now.